Our story begins in the early 19th century, in a time of empires and dynasties. The vast lands of North India witnessed the rise of a powerful entity, the Sikh Empire, under the dynamic leadership of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Known for his strategic acumen and diplomatic finesse, Ranjit Singh fortified his empire with a formidable military force and astute alliances. His reign marked an era of prosperity and cultural fusion. But as the Sikh Empire was gaining stature, another force was silently extending its roots, the British East India Company. With its growing influence, the company had ambitions that were much larger than mere trade. It eyed territorial expansion, aiming to bring the entire Indian subcontinent under its control. As the Sikh Empire flourished, so did the ambitions of the British East India Company, setting the stage for a clash of empires. The year is 1845. Tensions are high, and the stage is set for the First Anglo-Sikh War. In the heart of the Indian subcontinent, the Sikh Empire, once a beacon of stability and power under the rule of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, was in turmoil. The Maharaja's death in 1839 sparked a power vacuum, leading to political instability and infighting among the Sikh nobility. This instability created an environment ripe for conflict, and the British East India Company, ever watchful for opportunities to expand its influence, was ready to pounce. The British East India Company, a formidable power with its own private army, saw the Sikh Empire's vulnerability as an opportunity. Their decision to attack was not born out of spontaneity. It was a calculated move, driven by a desire for territorial expansion and control over the lucrative trade routes of the Punjab region. The war broke out in earnest with the Battle of Mudki on December 18, 1845. The Sikh and British armies, both formidable in their own right, clashed on the battlefield. The Sikh army, though resilient, was ultimately outmatched by the superior firepower and strategic prowess of the British forces. Despite the loss, the Sikh army regrouped and returned to the battlefield with renewed vigor. Just days later, on December 21st, the Battle of Firozeshah took place. The Sikh forces, determined to regain their lost honor, fought valiantly against the British. The battle was fierce, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. Yet despite their best efforts, the Sikh forces were again defeated. By the end of 1845, both sides had suffered heavy casualties, but the war was far from over. The battles of Mudki and Firozeshah were only the beginning of a series of conflicts that would shape the future of the Sikh Empire and the British East India Company. The stage was now set for a war that would not only change the landscape of the Punjab, but would also leave an indelible mark on the history of the Indian subcontinent. Entering 1846, the Sikh Empire and the British East India Company were locked in a stalemate. The year was marked by intense battles and strategic maneuvers that would shape the course of the Anglo-Sikh War. The Battle of Aliwal took place on a cold January morning. The Sikh forces, led by Ranjit Singh Majithia, were determined to hold their ground against the British. Despite their courage and resilience, the superior strategy of British General Sir Harry Smith led to a decisive victory for the British forces. But the Sikh soldiers were not deterred. They stood firm, showing an unyielding spirit that reflected their deep-rooted belief in their cause. Following Aliwal, the Battle of Sobran in February was a critical juncture in the war. The British, under the command of General Sir Hugh Gough, unleashed a fierce attack on the Sikh encampment. The Sikhs, outnumbered and outgunned, fought valiantly but were ultimately overrun. This marked a significant turning point in the war, signaling the beginning of the end for the Sikh Empire. Despite the odds stacked against them, the Sikh soldiers never wavered in their commitment. Their bravery, even in the face of defeat, was a testament to their indomitable spirit. Yet the strategic prowess of the British could not be denied. The meticulous planning and execution of their military campaigns, led by General Gough, were instrumental in turning the tide of the war. Their victory, however, was not without cost. The battles of Aliwal and Sobran had seen heavy casualties on both sides. As the dust settled on the battlefield, the Sikh Empire was left in ruins. The once mighty empire had fallen, marking a new chapter in the region's history. The Sikhs' dream of an independent state was shattered, but their spirit remained unbroken. In the face of overwhelming odds, the Sikh Empire had fallen. But what did this mean for the future of the region? The dust had settled, the battles had ended, but the consequences of the Anglo-Sikh War were just beginning to unfold. In the aftermath of the war, the Treaty of Lahore was signed, marking the end of Sikh sovereignty. This treaty led to the annexation of Punjab by the British East India Company, a significant event that reshaped the political landscape of the Indian subcontinent. The vast, fertile lands of Punjab, once ruled by the Sikh Empire, were now under British control. This annexation had profound effects on the Sikh community. The loss of their political power and independence was a severe blow. But despite the adversity, the Sikh community remained resilient. They adapted to the new circumstances, retained their cultural identity, and continued to contribute significantly to the region's growth and development. But the aftermath of the war wasn't just restricted to the Sikh community or Punjab. It reverberated throughout the British Empire too. The victory solidified the company's hold over India and marked a pivotal shift in British colonial policy. The British now began to directly administer and control the territories they conquered, a strategy they would use across their empire. Moreover, the Anglo-Sikh War left an indelible mark on the military traditions of India. The bravery, courage, and martial prowess displayed by the Sikhs were highly respected by the British. This admiration led to the recruitment of Sikhs in large numbers into the British Indian Army, a tradition that continues in the Indian military even today. The legacy of the war is also evident in the modern political map of India. The state of Punjab, as we know it today, was shaped by the boundaries drawn after the Treaty of Lahore. The linguistic and cultural diversity we see in the region is a testament to its rich, complex history. A history that was significantly influenced by the Anglo-Sikh War. Thus, the Anglo-Sikh Wars, a series of battles fought over 2 years, left a lasting imprint on the pages of Indian history, shaping its future in ways unimaginable at the time. Do like, share, and